the studios of Turnstile Records. Join us for another exciting installment of The Escape Pod. In an infinite universe of mindless podcasting, only one will reign supreme. And then there's this one.
The Escape Pod.
Welcome to the Escape Pods. This is Jazzbot.
This is Rooney. This is Taco.
What are we doing?
I don't have a convincing low voice.
I don't think I can even hear you.
Hello.
That's better.
Is it?
Lately I've been feeling like a machine.
And I can't hear anything about you.
Don't worry about him because I'm gonna put a compressor.
We do this every episode. We do
great.
this.
It's great. It's part of the format.
So you can't hear me? Can
I can hear you. There you go.
direct the mic.
You right?
Yep, I'm Ron Burgundy. Right?
Why does he always get the rickety mic?
Yeah.
The rickety mic.
Yeah, you gotta talk straight into it. It is a microphone.
Will it matter if I touch it?
That's what she said. That's the name of your porno. Do you mind if I touch it?
Episode what?
14.
I've been listening back to all of them just to make notes for when we eventually put them up, so we know what the blurb is for the show. And episode 8 or 7 was a year ago.
What?
Yeah.
There you go.
So we're very slack.
That's right, but we only
So don't expect current affairs on this podcast.
No.
It's only quality.
This is all
It's quality, not
Retro.
necessarily quantity. Just get my throat all sorted out.
how's that going for you, Tim?
It's going. Yep, I'm metering on the thing, so we're doing something right.
You sick of the studio yet? Because I hear you were
I'm in
recording all day.
I'm in all day. I'm always in here.
Why don't you do a spring clean, like refurb,
Like,
what do they
like
call it?
dust off my Transformers.
Rearrange everything.
I did get this from the shops, which you may like, Oscar.
Oh, okay. Purchase time. What's new?
What's you got?
While he's getting it, have you bought anything new, Jazzbot?
Have I got what? Sorry,
Have you bought anything new? A dog, car?
I don't buy anything. I'm
Yeah.
tight ass.
Unless the wife.
tight ass.
Timmy's crawl space. My crawl space is actually my shelf. I got
Oh,
a
ding, ding.
BB-8.
He's got a BB-8.
This is
With
to
a bent
the,
antenna, I might add.
That's correct.
Your antenna's old, man. Hey, did you guys? Can I ask?
That's for that scale, for the original vintage scale.
What they charge you for a BB-8? It's a very small
No,
droid,
it's,
and it
was
doesn't do.
part of it was part of a set, so
Does its head twist or anything? God, R2D2 had more function than this.
didn't he? But I love this.
What
Helmet
is
comes
it?
off? Is it a
Paint us a
Does
picture,
not
Tim.
go off.
So it's not Finn.
Paint us a picture.
It's a Force Awakens Stormtrooper.
Okay.
And what that set you back? $20 a
That
figure?
was like $15.
Ooh.
Do you guys so my first Star Wars figures, 50 cents.
Oh, 50 cents.
And then they doubled in price for the Empire Strikes
This is an
Back to
outrage.
$1.
No, large. I
And
remember
then-
being $3.
Yeah, and
something.
they stayed under 5 for years, and then Return of the Jedi finally came along, and I was paying $20 a figure
What
for you've
for
got it.
the coin?
That's
Yeah,
inflation,
the coin
man.
one.
Last
You know-
17, they're the
you know
ones I
that-
need.
The biggest figure in the range.
A man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I saw him for $20. Regretted not buying it,
yeah, well, there you
What
go.
is it?
and I couldn't just. I was like, "That's what is it?
It's $450 now.
What are you nerds
Yeah.
talking about?
Star Wars figures.
Which
figures
one?
worth buying.
A man.
One of Jabba's cronies.
Oh yeah, a man.
And he's a big figure.
It's one of the
Okay.
Muppets.
Right.
Hey, can I ask about The Force Awakens? I've just seen this bent antenna on this BB-8 droid, and I recalled Ren or Ray bending the
the
aerial and
antenna
going,
back,
I'm,
yeah.
she could talk droid, she could talk alien, and nobody ever said, how do you know what that Wookiee
I
is
just
saying?
like that. I just like that.
Is that just the Force? You just understand shit?
No, I think it's like being on a.
Because
It's-
I don't know,
Obi-Wan
raised
always
on an
gave me
alien
the
planet.
impression
It's that
he understood.
universe. They're
Cool.
very.
Not Zion
This,
knows what's going on. I don't know how he understands Wookiee. That doesn't ever make any sense.
Does anyone else understand him? No one
Yes.
else understands.
Yes, buddy, my ass is itchy too. No, I'm pretty sure that's what you said.
So I do have a bit of an insight into him understanding the Wookiee. There's a conversation they have with the Corellian spacer in the cantina.
Mm.
You see it happening, but you don't hear the dialogue. And apparently the dialogue goes, he says, "Oh, you could rent my ship, but I'm signed to a charter." And he says, "Oh, do you know anyone else?" And this pilot yells, "Oh, Chewbacca!" And Obi-Wan starts talking to Chewbacca, and this pilot goes, "What? You understand the Wookiee language?" And he makes some comment, that
There
not
you
many
go.
people
What was that
know.
on?
That was on the radio series.
Yes. Yes. We did talk about that in the, I think, episode 1.
Episode the pilot.
The pilot that we cut up.
Sliced
Sliced it up.
into that crazy.
Edited
episode.
heavily.
Actually, I might just hide behind this. Can you see me there? I'm hiding behind the spit guard on the microphone.
So have you got your
Why don't I get a spit guard?
I sure do.
your sound effects board?
I sure do.
Because I've been listening to the old podcasts and realised that we
Don't do enough
relied
ads.
heavily on the sound effects board for our segments and our games that we've invented.
What
And I've
happened
got a
to that
list.
handheld tool? That was fun when you brought that in.
This one.
I don't think it was your phone. I think it was a red novelty thing. It was like, kiss my butt, kiss my butt.
Oh yeah, kiss my ass. Where's the volume on this bad boy?
It's your phone, Tim.
Yep, sure is. Good old. Oh, them's fighting words.
You got crickets?
That was a diss. I think I do have a cricket there. Look,
Yeah,
you've
for when
put
the
me on
comment
the-
just
you've put-
doesn't land.
Well, I'll tell you some of the
Oh, I like that.
games we've invented. We'll just start with a crowd favourite. Who do you want to punch in the face, or what? What do you want to punch in the face? It's not it's not necessarily a violence. Is there a punch?
Is there a rich?
Punchy punch,
Is there a
boxing
punch?
ring,
Is
sound
there a
effects,
punch?
something
Who do you
related
wanna
to
punch in the face?
punching.
Oh,
There you
yeah.
go.
Yeah, I like that.
Excellent.
Okay.
Do you want to go first?
No, I don't want to go first.
Okay. I have other listeners of community radio because I really wanted to go and see a movie last night called Hail Caesar. There were free tickets up for grabs. They have a whole cinema. This particular community radio station had the preview last night. They said ring up after 11 and you can win tickets.
Should be easy enough, you're thinking.
I get in at 11:02. Oh, sorry, they're all gone.
Far
And
out.
I said, you guys have got 10 phone lines. How did you fill a cinema in 2 minutes? And it was like, I could tell
Sus.
there was a lot of presenters going, I'd like to go to that
Is
Coen
there
Brothers.
And I
something
want
in
10 of
place-
them.
Is there something in place to stop? They do like competitions like Macca's and all that kind of stuff. How they've got prizes, but you never find out
Oh, for
who the
sure.
winner is. Like, do they actually give the prizes?
Yeah, you have to. The Gaming Commission.
Is that what a comptroller is? A controller of competitions?
No.
I'm
No.
not sure. No, I don't.
There
know.
was a Simpsons episode where
Comptroller.
Lisa won something and they
No, that's a political position.
and they brought out someone called a comptroller. And I was like, wow.
No,
Do you still
it's
watch
the,
The Simpsons?
I do. I've been enjoying them again.
Really?
Yeah.
I watched
'Cause
a few this season.
I lost faith for a long time.
Mm.
And I did find a season that was in the bad period and going, this is shit, this is shit, this is shit. But I told you I was house mining a while ago and they played every season from the first season to the 24th,
Oh my
I
God.
think. And I got into a patch and it was so rich with, because it was Foxtel, they weren't cutting it. And there were such gems as, the Bumblebee guy.
Yeah.
So he was coming to join Krusty's network, and Krusty's there with Sideshow Mel and Corporal Punishment, all of his outside, offsiders, and the Bumblebee's guys is coming with his entourage, and he's got a monkey with bandoliers on, and a Mexican hat, and Mr. Teeny and this monkey start fighting, and Krusty goes, "Oh my God, I didn't know he had a monkey." "Oh my God, I didn't know Mr. Tinny was a girl." "Oh wait, he's just on the bottom." And you don't see what's happening; it's just on Krusty's face. But I was like, "Wow, they're not just dumbing it down for the kids anymore."
So that must be like season.
Google's
12 or
Google's
something.
Internet Dictionary defines the comptroller as a management level position responsible for supervising the quality of accounting and financial reporting of an organisation. In particular, a government.
That was.
Okay.
I fell asleep.
Why do
then,
they
Tim. That
get
was
to give out prizes?
Snooze review.
Say again?
Because I only know them from The Simpsons
No,
and
the
TV.
competition
Regulators.
regulators.
It's like Tabcorp and all those dudes. Like, you know, at the start of the lotto, and they go, "And here's such and such from."
Nevada.
There's always
And,
a dude, an aficionado. Oh God, what's that word? I can't even think.
Aficionado.
Aficionado.
No, but they're not those guys.
Connoisseur.
No, not him. The guy that's there judging making sure everything's kosher at the bloody lotto.
You know, the judge.
The judge talking
auditor.
guy. Who?
Lawyer.
Auditor.
Maybe. I don't know.
Come on, guys, do your research.
I don't know.
Uh,
I'm still on
There's a
painkillers.
segment. Words we don't know.
so wait, so back to it. That's who you wanted to punch.
I wanted to punch all these other people who got in 2 minutes before me to fill up a whole cinema.
Mm,
And you'd think 11, I'd be in line for some tickets.
I think so.
That's a
You're a
bam for Rooney.
you're a subscriber.
Yes, and I've it was something I
You
wanted.
you win a lot of those.
Yeah, I win a lot. I've won a trip to Thailand.
Yeah,
bought a
that
bus
was on one of
ticket.
the first
I
one of
go
the
to
first
about 20
podcasts.
movies a
we-
year.
You want to think to Thailand?
Yeah, when I was
Did you go?
18. Yeah.
Hmm.
No, I thought no. But actually, I cashed in the other airfare and went on my own, which
See,
Mm.
so he's half,
probably
you're half
an
the-
Asian odyssey that I didn't need to have at the tender age of 18.
People don't
Maybe
know
we'll
the
talk
difference
about
between-
that experience in episode 45.
Video nasty.
Yeah.
I'll tell you my
Oh,
adventures.
hashtag ladyboys.
No, not ladyboys, but I will go into my adventures in the Golden Triangle.
Right.
Bam.
Holy moly.
Who do I want to
Batman.
punch?
I don't know.
I want to punch late 1990s VHS players.
2000s,
Really?
man.
You've been
I
been
just
watching
got-
the
I just
VHS?
I got the videos out of the roof.
Okay.
Well, I went through the box to see what's in there because I'm
And
looking for-
DVDs have spoiled you. You can't stand rewinding and the time
no.
involved.
No, it's the DVDs that you can rewind at the click of a button. It's the VCR that you
have to wait. You've been ruined by DVDs.
No, well, what happened is that Jezbot lent me his VCR,
Mm.
and I played it. It's VCR, VHS.
No, VCR.
It is VCR.
Yeah,
Isn't it?
video
VHS is the tape.
Oh, it's the tape.
is the
isn't it?
type.
VCR is the-
VHS is what beat beta.
Okay.
Yes.
And I pressed a couple of buttons, and I went into a mode, and then it needed the remote control.
and you didn't have the remote for the
Couldn't
video.
do it. So
Well,
I
this is the
stuck in
thing,
mode.
Tim. It's not a late 90s.
I
It's
wanna
a
punch.
late 2000s.
Is
Just in that cusp.
Really?
Yeah, because it was we got it for burning VCRs onto disc. It's a dual action.
It's
So
a,
this is so. What year did
it's a
the 40-year-old
transitioner.
Virgin come out? Because I remember that being the last time I saw a video
Bless you.
recorder in popular culture, and he was selling a woman
Yeah,
a dual
it's-
system, which you obviously have.
That's right.
And
That's right,
but
Rudy.
yeah, so that was the early 90s.
No, I'm saying into the 2000s.
Sorry, early
Into
2000s.
the 2000s.
This century.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because it was that switchover from.
and it's just that tiny little bit more technical where it actually requires the remote control, whereas old VCRs would have just been play track stop.
So when
Yeah, so it would have been
Bowie-
easy, but there's no buttons to push to get you into
So I got
menus.
stuck in a stupid ass menu which I couldn't
couldn't
say yes.
remove from the
And
screen.
then it turned out that in order for me to press, it says press yes, press exit or enter for yes,
Yeah.
or press no. I didn't have the no. Turned out that the stop button on the VCR actually activated the no function.
God
So
damn it.
I did it.
So that's who you're punching.
I'm punching the remote control that doesn't come with the VCR. Thank you very
So
much.
that was me.
That was you.
Okay.
I'm
So he's
punching you.
essentially
Wow.
punching me for
So
forgetting
I'm,
VCR.
I'm punching the VCR controller.
Well, the last time I used a VCR was
Just
when
like
Bowie died, and I felt like watching Labyrinth, and I only had it on.
That was
VCR.
3 days ago.
That wasn't long ago.
That was a long time ago, and yeah, it was fine. It was weird.
By the
watching-
yeah, it's true.
It was weird.
By the time the podcast goes up, it probably was a long time ago.
It will be a long time. It wasn't recent. Like he's been
Dave
gone
Bowie.
a while. He's been gone a while.
What,
It's only
a
the second
month?
month of this year, but yeah, he did die 2016. But the wound is healed.
Wait,
Yeah.
Scabbed over.
I'm
I can talk about it.
I'm totally
You can
over it.
talk about it.
I'm done. And I'm a
And I
Bowie
remember-
fan.
There you go. I've talked about it. Who
am I going to punch in the
Yeah,
face? Or
shit.
what? What am I going to punch in the face?
Come on, you've been working in the sun.
I've got plenty of that noise. But I had to go and see. I didn't have to. I went and saw the niece's school play.
Stop punching nieces.
I was
Man.
not
That never
punching
goes
her in the
down well with
face.
Family dues.
It's a big ask. I think
plays.
school plays.
Yeah,
I mean,
cool.
she's
and there's
she's
plenty
brilliant.
of yous. Like I know you boys come from a big family. How did you have to jump on that landmine?
I do. I go for all the kids. They're all into acting and whatnot and recitals, and we
So
we put our hands up.
Michael's.
Yeah,
Michael's.
Michael and
So,
Julius. We put
yeah.
our Cassie and I always put our hand up to go because we want to. We want to support the arts.
But you end up leaving wanting to punch someone. In the
I
face.
just
A minor or the organizer?
It was
The
I
director?
think it was the director that I ended up sitting next to because we got in. Well, there's a few things that I want to punch in the face.
Is
We
it
got-
because you knew he was a director because the whole time he was mouthing the words to you.
He was taking notes right at the back, and he was taking
Clarissa, you're not hitting your marks.
Yeah.
notes. Clarissa.
He sounds weird.
I can smell it.
Yes. No. Well, we got the printout tickets off the internet and
Really? For a school play?
school. Oh, dude,
Oh my god.
big schools, and it's the
Private school?
privates, and it's the girls' school down the road, and it's the boys' school, and they always do the play together.
What, Merton Hall and Melbourne Grammar?
Oh, some of the.
Yeah.
I'm
We
not-
won't
I'm
go
not
into
saying-
it. Flippity Sticks
Yeah, yeah,
affiliated
yeah.
Yeah,
school.
Flippity Sticks High. What is it?
Flippity Sticks High. Now there's a series.
High school, university.
Yeah, that's
University
right.
High
High.
school. University.
Anyway, so the printout had on the receipt, it had the name of the hall. For some reason, on the other tickets, the actual tickets, it had the address of where it was actually happening, and the part that we read was on the receipt, and it obviously comes out of that campus. The receipt comes out of that campus, and it had
An address.
an address, and so
On
we
the
punched it
receipt.
into the thing, punched it in, and sure enough,
You went to
rocked
the
up.
school?
It was not there, so we had to turn around. We're running late.
And then what was it in relation?
It was a good 10 minutes. We were running in as they were closing the doors.
Oh.
I was kind of hoping that I'd miss the first 45 minutes, but
I'll be there for the intermission, kids.
yeah.
It didn't
And
make
then-
a lot of sense, but you were great.
So
Take this
we
cardboard cut out of my face and hold this. That's what I would have done.
we were watching it, and it was all good and dandy. It was fine.
What,
no
was,
worries.
what was the play?
Bloody
Dracula's
anything
Spectacular.
goes.
Anything? Hang on, that's a bit adult.
I
Isn't
know,
it?
dude. This is part of the problem. I've got to keep my cans on. I can't deal with it. Just irrelevant to
Children's stuff.
yeah, man. Like
Just not
they're in year 10 to 11, 12 or whatever.
irrelevant because it's dated, or
Well, it's
just too old?
dated, and it's like some of the references are from the 40s and 50s. Like, all right, did you see?
Shine your
That's-
boots, governor.
This is like Guys and Dolls.
I'm trying
Anything
to think of
anything goes. Have I been saying Guys and Dolls?
Anything goes. No,
It's
no,
anything
no.
goes.
So what? People calling each other broads? And
Yeah, but there was like references to people of that time, and
Sinatra and
before more obscure
Okay.
references that no one knows, and it was just quietness after
Because
the jokes.
nobody's getting in.
No one's
Yeah.
laughing. But the thing that I really didn't like was the two Chinese characters that were in the play.
What? Mickey Rooney subtleties? Or?
Yeah, man.
my
it
God,
was
really?
Yeah, I
So let's do something dated and
leave.
Reference the worst part of the original.
no, but slightly racially inappropriate. given
Yeah,
this
I
era.
thought it was.
Yeah.
I thought Cassie reckons I was being too sensitive, but I was feeling uncomfortable when
on their behalf.
Yeah, because they dressed them up in the garb, and they
Told
had
not
them.
to pronounce their R's.
Yeah, correct. Obviously, like white dudes.
Yeah.
But they dressed them up to act the fool, like they were these foolish Chinese characters, stereotypical.
Blackface.
It's pretty much blackface, man. And they were acting the fool and being all stupid, and the whole the gambling thing. Because we're Chinese, man, we love gambling. And then in the play, some of the main characters dress up to be these Chinese dudes. You know, do the old steal the uniform and break out of prison to, you know.
Right.
And then they were acting
Extra
like
racist.
Chinese people. So they were doing the
That's
whole
the double down.
on
This
racism.
sounds awful
It was
to sit through.
terrible.
How long was the play all up?
Dude, it started at 7:30, and by the time I
You
got
got-
home, it was 11 o'clock at
Get
night.
Yeah, so did you punch the guy next to you?
Oh my god. I punched myself in the face. Because, like, you know,
I'd set a precedent.
I
for
wanted
all
to go.
All future nieces.
she was great, by the way. Emily rocked out, so it was good.
Big part?
Not a massive part, but they know.
Unless you think the tree, a tree in the background is a good part.
Oh, man, it was
what,
like...
what do they
was
say?
there
There are no
the entire
small
time.
parts, only
No.
small actors.
This is the
that?
thing. She said after the play, and we're talking
I
to her
should've
about
been
it.
the
She
Rock.
said, "Well, she said, now they know. Now they know
Now they know.
because
They can see what you can do.
Yeah.
yeah, because they didn't.
No autographs.
She
Hang on.
has
Now
been tap dancing for 10 years, and then got to auditions and shit, and she didn't get the main role. Or whatever, but
So
then
it
when
wasn't
they found
like a show is a show is a show.
pretty much.
So she's managed to shine despite the limited.
Next year
material.
she'll be up the ranks.
She'll be
She
possible
had a dance
lead,
solo. She
co-star.
kicked ass. She'll be up there. But apart from that, it was not a
Did
good
you
night
guys
out.
participate in any musicals in high school?
No.
Grade 6 I did,
Yeah.
but
My horrible hobbies.
yeah.
My brother was the
No.
lead in a high school production, and I was working props, and I was embarrassed so much for my brother during rehearsals. And I was like, "Oh my god, this is awful."
Oh my
It's
God,
torture.
And it was good to see.
When we get home.
It was good to see that it was like pulling teeth. It was horrible sitting through the rehearsals.
Mm.
Come the night, it all came together.
It always does.
And it was something that I was
But
proud
sometimes
to
doesn't.
actually be
For
involved
sure.
in, even though all I was doing was standing behind the stage rolling up the scenery because we had it painted and
But it's the
You're one of those dudes in the black skivvies.
not quite. I didn't even make it on stage.
it's
Like,
the 9 weeks of torture, like you're saying, going
Yeah.
to the
and seeing how
rehearsals
bad it
and-
was, and then how good it was on the night was like, wow.
takes a
Nobody
special
wanted
breed.
it to be that bad when the parents
I could never
came.
get up
And
in front of people to perform. Wait a minute, and then I became a DJ and I do it every day. But aside from that,
Oscar's just had done himself a mischief.
he's done himself a mischief.
back on the
Ah, look.
That's the other thing we need to talk
Should we
about.
unsing-
Last time we spoke to Rooney, he was on the wagon,
Oh, is he off the wagon?
on the Henry Wagons. Well, he's drinking a beer, and he just spilt
I
it.
just spilled beer
all
on
over
my
your
cover. If
carpet.
he doesn't hurry up, it actually will get in there.
It's getting in there, right? I can see. Do you want to get down on your knees and start slurping it up, Tim?
Got something very absorbent.
He's got a cat.
Oh, the cat won't drink it.
The cat won't work.
No, I was going to use him to bump it up.
The cat
No, dude, just
is
spon-
not
just
as
sponge it there, Oscar.
it's not as
Dab, dab,
absorbent as you think.
Yep.
Rub it in.
Yeah, no rubbing, man. Just dab it,
It'll be fine.
and your beer's destroyed now. But let's
It's
get
all
to
fine.
let's get to now that you're back on the wagon. Let's hear why.
Why? Okay, St Kilda Fest
It all
and then
happened.
White Nights.
Oh yeah, you went to St Kilda Fest.
Yeah, that was fucking. Always managed. I go every year, despite the fact every one of my friends has outgrown it. So now it's just me walking around on my own.
With 250,000
A lot of dickheads, yeah.
dickheads.
But
I
there's
wasn't
always
going to
been
say
dickheads.
it, but he,
Mhm.
yeah.
But I always manage to see some music I like, and for some reason I find myself having a good time. Not this year. I went to multiple stages and saw a lot of Australian bands that my consistent comment was, did you win a competition to get here? Because you're shit. And
Do you think it might have something to do with the fact that you were sober this year?
I was drinking. No,
Ah, okay.
that's when I
it
jumped
was
off
still
the
shit.
wagon.
It was still shit.
No, and,
So you didn't break at St Kilda Festival. You didn't.
yeah, no, that's when I jumped off the wagon.
Right.
And,
Jumps right off.
so I saw.
Got run
I
over
went
by
to the
another
main
wagon
stage,
coming
and
in
I
another
thought
direction.
there's got to be something good on the main stage.
Mm.
I saw a guy called Hayden James.
Oh, we're naming names.
And I've got to say, people, avoid this guy at all costs. He's fucking shite.
And
Wow.
he's an eavesdropper.
That's,
no, I sat through 4 songs waiting for, like, going, okay, everyone's very excited. I thought he was the second headline. No, he was headlining the festival.
That's.
And
See,
kids were losing their shit. And
I've
I was
never
like-
heard that name.
And I spoke to a few kids in the audience and was like, "This guy's good, yeah?" And, oh yeah, it's can't you hear him? And I was like, I'm waiting for something to drop, and I'm waiting for him to get into something. And then
Maybe
like,
it's.
DJ or
Yeah,
band?
DJ.
He's a DJ.
so all he had was I couldn't see any turntables. It was just one of those.
It's a button pusher.
Yeah.
So you know those? I used to see him as a 9-pack sampler, and
Yeah.
now there's 24 buttons. That's all he was doing.
Yeah.
And then he said, after 3 songs, I've got a friend who I'm going to bring out. He's going to do some live bass.
Did the
and I was
pop in?
like, that's good. A bit of live instrumentation and a bit of bass. It still sucked ass. It just didn't get any. And I was permanently waiting for. It felt like he was vibing the crowd up, and he was going to drop it, and get into his
So
set.
do you do the inaugural walk from one end to the other drills, or do you go straight to hotspots that you know are gonna?
No, every year I do it as I feel. The last
Freestyle.
one I had was when I met you in the upstairs bar, and you were DJing for a rapper, and I had to help get the stage together. I liked it for him. She walked into
Well, that's
a bar.
where your stagehand management came in.
Came
Was
in
it
hand. But yeah, this
Faludos?
girl walked
No,
into
that
a
was at Big Mouth.
big. No, it wasn't Big Mouth. No, it
What's
was a
that?
weird one opposite and upstairs.
Faludos.
Faludos. And yeah, I did like. What was her name? That rapper.
Kobe Marsh.
Kobe Marsh.
So she walks in the room and just goes, "What the fuck? Where am I meant to perform?" And they said, "Here in a corner."
Kobe Marsh.
And she just went, "No." So a bunch of people are going to walk in here and go, "Oh,
Where's that
there's-
music coming
where's
from?"
the music? There's no respect." She was like, "I want people to acknowledge that there's a musical."
Just get up on the
she
bar.
didn't
love.
say it like that.
She did get up on the bar.
Did she?
Yep.
Kobe
Well,
Marsh strikes
we,
again.
We went and got some milk crates and made a small stage, and from that stage, she
Course.
then got on the bar because it wasn't quite like you don't want to be part of the crowd when you're performing. I think
No,
behind,
you don't want to be on the
behind the decks is fine,
Yeah, it's
and I
fine.
don't want
Like,
to
it's a
denigrate
hide.
the DJ here,
But I
but
get to hide.
Go
behind
ahead.
the desk. It's great.
but yeah, when you're singing or rapping, you do not want to be amongst the crowd where people can just go, oh, you're right.
Yeah.
You know,
Give me a mic.
I've got my back to
No.
you because I don't realise you're performing. You don't.
Does he do that in 8 Mile?
But yeah, that was the last good St Kilda Fest. It was about
That
3
was-
years ago.
Yeah,
And,
that was alright.
Mm.
and
But then I only really go if I'm working there or if I'm playing.
Last time I went, I drove and I found a car space. That was
Wow.
my St Kilda adventure.
90s.
Probably. It was early days.
I remember the 90s used to be great. The phone network used to go down, and,
Mm.
and, it,
Yeah.
and people like I've met kids who went to last year's one, and they go, "I fucking went off last year, didn't it?" I was like, "No,
No,
pale
no, it didn't.
imitation to what it used to be."
See,
I tell you
You
what-
can walk
I
everywhere
do
now.
this.
You can, and there's still crowds, but you can basically, if you want to walk from one end to the other, you can do so easily. You don't get that crush between.
So how they work that out? How they?
It's not
Fix
as
that.
popular.
It's
Mm.
just not as popular.
And it's festival fatigue. I mean, it's one of many, and it's really lost its shine. It's not the Ace Festival it used to be. And
Festival fatigue. Did you coin that phrase?
nah,
I tell you what
Yeah,
that
quite.
does have shine is I think your Facebook page, Old School Melbourne Ravers.
Oh yeah.
no.
that's
Ooh,
good.
well, I'd like to
That's
see
good.
that.
Whelan's on it
Oh
all
yeah,
the time,
Very funny.
and they're posting up
Very
all every picture tells a story
Photos.
footage
Oh,
from
yeah.
like 2000 and maybe or 90
2004 was the
no
first
no
one I
no like
went to.
99 98 footage
99.
Okay.
and press play on it, and sure enough, first mug on the screen is my bald head at the time. I walked straight past the
You gotta
camera.
see it, man.
You gotta say it's classic.
How old were you boys when you were going to raves? Were you underage and not able
Oh,
to
when we
drink?
started-
Of age.
Well, the first rave I went to, I was 14 with you. Every picture tells a story. 2.
Mhm.
Every Picture Tells a Story. One, I went to my
Yeah.
first rave. It was in Global Village. Oh my god.
Hmm.
Yeah,
My-
that's,
my
where, that's where
fav-
we went to. That's where we went to this one.
My
That
favourite
was-
Well, I went there with a friend, and he'd had a few pills, and he was a bit, oh mate, if you
Under
don't
the
mind,
weather.
I'm going to sit in the car. It's like, what? Why? Man, I just don't want to be around a whole lot of people. No worries, mate.
Yeah,
Well, rave's the perfect spot.
I've headed on my own.
Peak too early.
And I find a spiral staircase on the side of the building. I'm in a car park, basically. I go up, and they go $45. I go, oh, okay. And I was, I'd never been to a rave before, and this was 1994, New Year's Eve. I didn't really know what they were about. And I said, oh, what do you get for that? You get to go in. And I was like, oh, shit. So I pull out my money, pay to get in, and there's a maze of black plastic.
Yeah.
That was the...
So,
yeah, man.
So I'm
That's
walking
probably good.
around,
Yeah, sweet.
but there aren't people around, and I'm starting to get a bit freaked out. The only bearing I've got is the outside of the building wasn't black plastic, it was brick. So that's when I knew I was near the perimeter of the maze.
Yeah.
But then I come across some skinheads tripping balls, and they're tearing the maze apart.
Oh.
And they've just turned to me and gone, and I'm just gone, hey guys, have a good one.
Welcome
Going,
to the 90s.
Where the fuck am I? And then walked into a dance area of a couple of hundred people dancing.
Yeah.
Projections. I was like,
Yeah.
wow. Didn't love the music, but techno took a long time to take with me. Anyway, walked around there for a bit, tried to have a boogie, but I wasn't much of a dancer in those days. And then went exploring. Probably spent an hour exploring different bits of it. Thought about going and visiting my mate with a car and getting a pass out, but I think I did actually, and he still wasn't ready to come back in. So
I'm
then I've
so
gone
scared.
back to
I'm so scared.
I've gone back into the maze, found that dance floor I wanted. Then later on, I needed to go to the toilet, and I've asked some people where the toilets were, and somebody pointed to this area. And as I've gone to the toilets, I've noticed this big staircase. So instead of going to the toilets, I've followed the swarms of people going downstairs. Then I found a dance floor with a couple of thousand people.
Right.
And I just wet myself with excitement,
Right.
going, fucking, fuckity,
That's crazy.
fuck.
That was
This is
crazy
where it's
game,
at.
man.
But you got to check this
Global
website
Village.
out because it's
Yeah, Melbourne.
Oh, that
Raiders.
would just be nostalgia.
yeah. Well,
Very
the
cool.
camera keeps going through, and then there's the dozen or so dudes we went to the rave with, and we're all
They're
up
all there.
in that.
Everybody's in there.
Everyone's ex-girlfriends are there.
It's
Everyone's
classic.
wearing
Classic.
massive pants, but no one's got a mobile phone.
Wow.
Everyone's
No
just
one's-
dancing.
There's one camera there.
One camera, yeah.
Yeah.
I actually remember it.
So they would have been
enough.
video cameras.
Video cam, man.
Yeah.
So my friend Chucky, who took me to that rave, he had a friend Jono who was always walking around raves with a camera. So I'm thinking it might be his footage
Could be.
because he used to always religiously film them. And I'm sorry I don't know Jono's second name,
Shit.
but he was
Get onto that.
one of those dudes that went to all the every pictures, and I think one of those promoter dudes.
Yeah. It was probably the only one that was allowed to film in there.
Oh man, that was a great News Eve. Did you guys go
That's
to?
the,
I'm pretty sure you did. You went,
Y2KO.
yeah, at Exhibition Buildings.
Yeah, yeah.
Calcium Nights, the third one.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, no, I went to Welcome 2000.
Well, that was what? Is that for 2000?
I went to Halcyon Nights 98, 99 and 2000.
You didn't go to on the docks 2000. Welcome
No.
2000.
98 we were in...
Didn't
You didn't go to Halcyon.
No, we
I've
went
still
to
got a
Welcome
key
2000.
ring of that. You showed me an image on the phone.
Yeah, yeah.
And I have a metal key ring celebrating 2000.
yeah, right.
I think
So that's why I
97,
didn't see you
98
guys.
we were in
Right.
Crowell Castle there, Tim.
For which?
98, 99.
Yeah, Crowcastle, we did that for years.
I remember Crowell
That's
Castle
nice.
because I was walking
Gotta
past
get a
Maddie's joint, and I thought, Maddie might be home, and then I've heard Oscar, and Maddie, Matt's partner at the time, is in a phone box saying, "Hey, Bash is on the phone." My ex-girlfriend,
Yeah,
and yeah, you guys were all at Crowell Castle. And
That's right.
I got the lowdown.
yeah.
So what was Ballarat?
It was
like?
crazy, man. And like we thought that was it. Like when we were just raving, we thought, oh, that's it. That's done. But now it's resurfaced in a massive way, just on as a Facebook page.
But the raves now are just
very-
shit compared to.
they're not really raves, are they? They're just clubs.
The closest I think you get to a good vibe is a bush doof nowadays.
I think so,
Good
yeah.
people and decent beats. Because, yeah, after putting up with that DJ at St Kilda Fest, I was so. I felt like Andy Warhol. I
Yeah.
don't even know what's good anymore.
Do you know what's probably happening there? Because they've got that pitch, that noise pitch where old people can't hear it.
I hope that
Young people can
yeah,
only
I'm,
hear.
I'm probably
Maybe
missing
he's
out on half the beats.
Half the beats.
Yep, cool.
It's only for 16-year-olds, you see.
But it really did suck ass. It was like a grab bag of all the cheap tricks and cheap thrills.
Those cheap tricks. Yeah.
Is that footage from the website?
No, that's just somebody trying to find out what track this is. Does anybody know what track this is? It's a white label record. They just put it on and record it.
I'm surprised Shazam doesn't know.
Well,
Anyway.
Yeah.
Well, that's
So when you
punch in
say
the face.
Shazam,
Yeah, I guess that was.
when
a
you say
punch in the
Shazam, I just think of that bearded cartoon character. And why would he know
Shazam!
anything?
Shazam!
He'd get you out of trouble, but
Isn't he Captain Marvel now?
Shazam!
Shazam!
Hmm.
Is that
Um, Jezbot's snooze review. What about that? Remember that game?
We got a snooze review.
You been to any movies? You got any good tip lately?
Okay, well, here's one, Tim. You don't have a sound effect ready, that's fine.
No.
Snooze review on
The Revenant?
Netflix. I'm trying to watch The Age of Ultron.
Oh,
Avengers.
That's snooze
It's a
review.
tough
That's
Tough
a
watch.
Yeah,
it was hyped through. It was really hyped.
Made like
Yeah.
$1 billion
I
or
didn't bother.
something. Made a lot of money.
You had to see the other one and understand what was going on in order to know what this one was all about.
Well, I'm up to second viewing, and I've lasted around about 22 minutes so far. So snooze review, snooze factor of around about a 9 to a 10 on
That's
Age.
the opposite of the scale of the last
No.
snooze review.
No. The snooze review. Oh, that's my
So
phone.
it's high-end snooze value, which gives it a higher number. Is that how you rate this?
Okay, so the snooze review works. I'm sure if you've heard the
Thusly.
podcast, if you've heard the podcast, Tim, you should know where how the snooze review
We've
goes.
participated. We
I'm
haven't
not a
heard them.
subscriber.
We don't listen.
We were playing last week's episode, and he's just shaking his head, going, "I don't
I do not
remember
remember saying that.
any of this. I don't remember any of this."
That'll be my
probably
excuse
because
for
none of it
everything
had
that's slightly
any,
offensive. I say.
and none of it had any
But,
merit or it was funny.
Snooze review is rated how?
Okay, so 0, I stayed awake the whole time.
And
So
and that
no
was a good
snooze.
film.
That was a great film.
So it had no snooze value.
No
you
snooze
didn't
because it was
snooze.
great. So I stayed
And
awake
what was the
the
last
whole time.
film that scored a 0?
Star Wars because I stayed awake.
Yay.
So that got a 0. And Age of Ultron is pushing upwards
It's
of
a
90s because I don't think I'm going to be able to do it. It's
Sure
2.5 hours or some shit.
Hey, just so you won't watch it for another year, watch The Wire. It's
Oh,
really
forget
good.
The Wire.
just
Forget
so
The
Jerry-
Wire.
Yeah, Jerry
That's
can't
it. That's
watch
another
The
6
Wire.
months.
I
Any snooze reviews, Tim?
don't have any snooze reviews. So I enjoy everything I watch because I only select things I like to see.
Right.
So
Yeah,
Do
go
you-
for it.
both have Netflix, or
Yeah.
I do.
I've got. It's cheap. It's
and
good.
that's where you watch your movies?
Yeah. Look, I stream, but Netflix
Yeah.
is good for the bedtimes and the
It's good because it has that function where you play on an episode and it'll play a couple of episodes without you having to touch it.
But the level of content's starting to really annoy me.
It's wearing out. It's wearing thin. The
Wearing
kids
very
have watched
thin.
every single solitary animation and.
So they're not giving you enough. They're not,
Well,
it's
we
not
know
a-
how much is out there, dude.
There's
Yeah.
not a
We know.
yeah. There's not a plethora
And when
of
you-
entertainment.
And when you're putting
no, there is for the first 4 months, and that's when you're locked into contract, and then you go, oh yeah, it's like Foxtel when you watch it and you go, it's a lot of ads. It's a lot of ads.
Here's the
and
problem.
then the show turns up twice in the same day, and you realise they're mirroring. It gets to 12 o'clock, and then they do it in reverse.
So,
again.
so I've had a bit of a Foxtel experience because of all the hype. I bothered to watch that series Vinyl with Martin Scorsese
I
and
wanted
Mick
to watch
Jagger.
that. Is it any
I've not.
good?
So
Oh, this is
The
a
first
talking.
episode
This is a new
ended-
segment.
Do you
Talking
guys-
TV.
talking TV.
Talking TV. Talking
Sorry, we didn't
TV.
bring-
Talking
Brilliant.
teams.
So, do you guys know of the New York Dolls?
Nope.
No.
So they were it's not quite glam rock. Doesn't describe them. They were heavy. They were for want of a better term, they were a pretty grouse band in the 80s.
Right.
Possibly
You would
late
be saying
70s.
grouse in the 80s.
And
Yeah. So it's
there was a bit of drag involved from what I can remember. The lead singer was called Handsome Dick Manitoba. But the first
no, his
episode
birth name.
finished with the guy
Change
who
it by
runs his
default.
it's about a record label.
Mm.
hence vinyl.
Vinyl.
And,
Makes sense.
It's not about flooring.
flooring.
Oh.
Oh yeah, that was big in the 90s.
It's not about a vinyl factory where they're just making the records.
Actually,
and they
let's
just,
do a series on vinyl flooring.
Vinyl.
It's an
Call it-
8-hour piece.
Call it vinyl.
Vinyl.
Vinyl floor. Yeah.
And so yeah, this
Lemonade.
guy's at a New York Dolls gig, and the first episode ends with cracks forming around the walls, and I thought, yeah, it's just the drugs. He's having a moment. He's really enjoying the music, and he's thinking this is rocking. But
This
then
is-
I did
yeah.
remember there was an incident where a building did fall down during a performance, and then they show the building falling down, and it's like a 4-story New York, not brownstone, but it's
An
sort of a
apartment block or something.
small apartment block
Mm.
falling down, and the other 2 buildings either side are intact.
Oh man.
And then it ends with a pretty crazy visual of him basically in the basement where the band was playing,
A la
Cup-
Blues Brothers style.
covered in rubble. Yes, totally.
That's unreal.
That's one of my favourite sound effects. That
Those
Blues
bricks.
Brothers when
The
they're
bricks.
crawling out of the bricks.
Yep.
For some reason that's always stuck with me.
Yeah, it's like a big.
It's
touch
almost
of
9
chalk.
o'clock. We got to go to work.
Yeah.
This Netflix thing though, this is the problem. This is when you know something's fishy. When you can watch half a dozen Adam Sandler movies, half a dozen.
Yeah.
What's that guy?
Grown Ups 1 and 2.
What's the other guy? The ghost killer, ghost rider,
Oh,
Nicolas Cage.
Well, you feel he's a hallmark. He's a signature
that
of
guy.
bad films.
Oh my god.
No,
He's
a
done some
signature he's a signature of Netflix cross-section action,
Crapola.
action flicks.
And then this, right? I typed in Die Hard, and it comes up, but it's blanked out, which means it's not available in Australia.
not available.
I can't watch Die Hard. I can't watch Die Hard.
No, because he doesn't do what I was saying.
I can't watch Blues Brothers.
Set your proxy up and you can do whatever you like.
I don't know how to do that online.
What's the proxy? A geo-blocking
No,
thing?
just when you set it up so that it tells your Netflix that you're in America. And so
Yeah,
it just
yeah,
gives you
it's
American
a geo-
content.
I wanted to sleep to Lethal Weapon or something. I wanted to put on some Lethal Weapon and get some snooze
Get
in.
some snooze
you know?
factor.
Couldn't even do that. Couldn't even do that.
Because you're Australian.
That's right.
Yeah.
Racist.
Well, yeah, I like the Adult Swim website, and you guys basically said to me how good Rick and Morty was. I could watch every episode of the first 2 seasons, but I couldn't watch any Space Dandy from the same website. And it basically, because you're in Australia, you haven't seen this content yet, you can't have it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I'll
do
continue
blocks.
not to have
It's
it,
like,
thanks
dude,
to
I
fucking
get
you.
Space
We have
Dandy.
seen it.
Well, I
We
get on that
downloaded it.
dubbed HD. Oh, thank you for that hookup. With
Oh, the other thing, yeah, the watch
been-
cartoons online.
So yeah, I've been watching undubbed
Best.
anime. Unreal.
Yeah.
With
It's very good.
subtitles.
With subtitles. it's
Yeah,
way
because all the Bruce Lee movies, they overdubbed him and they're shitty.
They
They're-
dumb it down.
Yeah,
They
but
dumb
then
it
you
down for
watch
that
it.
Western
better.
audience, don't
And
they?
the anime, they tend to change the plot a little bit.
A lot.
Yeah,
Like
Yeah, but when you're reading it and it's actually Bruce Lee saying the words, or
it's
it's
different.
so
Yeah,
much
it's-
better.
It is.
Can I ask with the anime, do you think that they did it, oh, that matches the mouth movement better, so we'll just have them saying something lame? Certainly
I don't
with
know.
Astro
I don't know.
Boy, that's-
Or they there tends to be a lot of that.
Yeah, they still get the mouth.
Because it's such limited animation that they continue on with sound so that you think it's still animating.
It's cheap. Wait,
But
it's filler.
It's filler. It's all filler.
I love the way the Japanese do filler, though. It's so much classier than any animation from anywhere else in the world.
Classy.
That's a big call, but yeah. After watching Space Dandy and knowing a little bit
Is
about
he a dandy man?
He's quite dandy.
he's
Is
a
it
dandy
dandy?
guy
That's
in
very
space.
dandy.
He
He wears
combs. He
his
combs the
pants
galaxy
tight.
like his,
Oh yeah.
And high,
He is.
and wears a dandy hat.
He
no,
doesn't
but
wear
he's
a
got
hat.
dandy.
Doesn't wear a
he's
hat.
got a pompadour. He
Pompadour.
combs the galaxy like his pompadour in the
Well,
search
isn't
for
that a hat?
aliens.
What else do you call it? It's like a chuff.
Isn't that a hat?
It's a hat.
It's
a
in the
hair
class.
hat.
It's in the
It's
species.
like an
of,
Elvis chuff.
I've never
genre.
seen him wear a hat,
Space Dandy is.
I don't even know what the fuck a
It's-
space
it's quite
dandy
good.
is.
It's
and
quite
I'm
good.
annoyed you don't know this because it's the
I've
best.
seen it.
It's hilarious. Nah, it's anime. You wouldn't have
Nah,
watched
nah,
Netflix probably doesn't have it. So you
nah.
won't.
no,
It's you're
it's
Austra-
like-
You're too Australian, you say. That's cool.
Saw
That's
it, saw it on
Snooze Factor.
SBS.
So Snooze
Stress factor. So that's what I've been sleeping on lately. It's
And
good.
So you haven't been sleeping because you haven't had Lethal
So
Weapon 2.
you are quite
Well.
partial to the couch snooze. So
The couch crash.
How much couch crash do you need before you'll just say that's enough?
That's enough. I've got to go to
Is
bed.
it after you wake up and you realise you
Well,
were asleep?
If I wake up and realise it's like past my bedtime, like because I like
I've
to
gotta go
bedtime
to
now
bed.
on a weeknight.
weekday, I like to go to bed. I like to be in bed around about the 10 o'clock mark. Have to,
We're
dude.
getting old, aren't we?
I
I
have
mean,
to.
when
What
it
time
got
do you go to
before
bed?
1-ish.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's about me too.
No,
Yeah.
it's
12,
fine.
Wow.
12:30.
Every time
Can't
I
do
wake up with less than 7 hours sleep, I just go, oh, what am I doing to myself?
But that's the thing. I'm getting up at. Yeah,
You're probably the youngest out of all of us. So
That's right. Probably work.
And you
fucking
sleep more than all
hardest.
this.
Work the
Probably.
most,
Yeah. Work the
I
most.
work pretty
yeah.
hard at not working hard.
but you've lived the least.
Yeah. Well,
So any other
do.
movies at the cinema you've seen?
the cinema.
So
have
can I ask,
not
does
been
live
really-
action theatre, when you went
Okay.
and saw your niece's
Mm.
thing, do you run the risk of falling asleep on the producer's shoulder,
Oh yeah.
I was well.
No takers.
or does it not have the effect of the screen, big or small?
It was
that
close.
you were
Man,
asleep?
well, to tell you the honest truth, the first half,
It was a struggle.
I actually had one of my ear duds in, and I was when it went a bit quiet and there was nothing happening, I just quickly press play and get a bit of a podcast in the ear. Right.
You gotta
Then-
listen when you can.
It was when when she came up, pressed off.
I advise that to our listeners. At a boring school play, just listen to the
To a
podcast.
podcast, and I just had my hair did, so like I had it out. It was not in a ponytail, and it was covering my ears
I
quite
love
nicely.
it when you do it at perm. You don't do it enough.
Yeah, I don't do a perm enough, do I? But then like after because we got there late, we were in the wrong seats, right up the back row. There happened to be some open seats. So we're like, well, we'll just sit here. So in the second half, after intermission, we went to where we were supposed to be sitting. So
45 minutes before intermission, or
Oh, dude, it was a long slog.
Hang
long
on,
slog.
finished at 11.
So you went to your
Yeah.
proper
Long slog.
seats. So you went
Went to our proper seats, and that's when the director sat next to me. And that was when it was the most.
on you or the
Well, that was when
Yeah.
it was the most.
Man next to me listens to podcasts.
I couldn't listen to the
That's the guy
podcast again.
reviewing it. Play failure. Man listens to podcasts. To a state.
So I didn't put it in my ear. I didn't want him to see or to hear, because if Cassie was coming over, tapping me every once in a while, I'd turn it down. You can hear it through the
Yeah,
through the thing.
Shit.
I only did a little bit, to be quite honest, but I couldn't do it in front of him. He was taking notes, and then that was when it was very Asian heavy, very Chinese offensiveness.
So maybe he missed the point. They said earlier.
I totally missed the point.
When he was listening to his podcast, they said, "In no way are we supposed
Is
to
there
be
huge
expressing-"
pressure on that guy not to cast actual Asians in that part?
Well, surely there's, if you're going to have the role, I don't know. I don't
Because
know.
it's slightly
I don't know.
offensive, maybe you don't. I don't know. Like
I don't know.
it's.
Would you?
I consider it as sensitive as blackface. It's.
Yeah.
why-
Would
why
or
do
do
a
you
play
do you
like
have a to pull a Michael Myers doing the Guru, the Love Guru?
Have you guys
Is
seen
he
that
supposed to be
Oh,
Indian?
it's
Like it's terrible.
Did you make it through the whole film? I've heard
No.
it's terrible.
God, no.
it's very,
I
very
heard there
bad.
were like scenes of him as a child with his head superimposed
Yes,
as an adult.
it was terrible.
How does Justin Timberlake dodge that shit? Because he's still gold, and he was in that film. Yeah,
He's a musician as well, though, because he's.
that's no excuse. Like he's a bad musician. He's made a lot of
dude,
shit
no. Well,
music.
this is the thing. There is a market
He's
for
someone I'd
Justin
like to
Tim.
punch in the face.
Really,
Just because of-
JT.
yeah, because he did. I'm always in a quest for perfect pop.
Mm.
I consider.
He's pretty good. His
Okay,
pop
okay.
is-
So his song, there was a song option to Michael Jackson when he was alive. Michael Jackson said no. JT got second bite at the cherry. He jumped on
Right.
it, and it was a great song.
sexy
Rock
back.
Your Body.
Oh yeah,
Um,
something like that.
And I thought, man, listening to it the first time, I was like, wow, this is an 8 or 9 out of 10 for perfect pop. He hasn't done a thing wrong.
Yeah.
And then they did a beatboxing section at the end. We probably should have Timmy Taco back. But yeah, it was overdubbed. And so we're talking about JT, an older song of his, and my quest for perfect pop. I'd love to hear a song and go, that is a 10 out of 10 perfect pop song. The only... No, it wasn't Sexy Back. It was, Rock Your Body.
Rock your body.
Yeah. So, and I was like, this is a 9 or an 8. And then they did a overdub beatbox section at the end.
That's him doing that.
Yeah, but overdubbed. Now, if you're going to prove your chops as a beatboxer,
Let's do
you
it
don't
live.
overdub it. But they multiply overdubbed it, and to me, it was so self-indulgent. It was like you lost all points you'd accrued in the past 5 minutes.
That's an
I do
art
like that
form.
song,
That's
yeah.
a part of hip hop. You don't do it. You don't layer up your track to become a beatboxer. You need to do it live.
Yeah.
You need to do.
It's
You
got
gotta,
one of those foot pedals.
and you know it's
No?
I-
wah
I
wah
just-
bar.
No,
Anyway.
but the one that you record a part, and then you do
Okay.
about boosh, ish, boosh, boo, ish. Just take that up.
Don't do that.
Ish, boo, boo, ish.
I'm not
And
beatboxing.
you press the button, and then it repeats it, and then you do a different.
Yes. I know.
I think
while
there's
that's
some
doing-
live,
yeah.
live
doing
skills
the,
involved.
Mm.
Like I don't
there
mind
is a
that,
bit.
but I just
He's not doing that on that album though.
so can I also say that
He's layered.
as far as perfect pop goes, I rated this one 9.5. Very old.
Ring my
song.
bell.
No.
Samantha Fox.
Oh yeah, that was great. So this is, I don't know if you guys would regard it as pop, but I reckon "Baby You Can Drive My Car" by the Beatles is a 9.5.
Okay.
9.5
Yeah, it's
on
like
the,
a 2-minute 13.
There's just not a bung. There's nothing I can fault with it. The other
It's catchy.
approaching perfect pop song is one that you'll probably throw bottles at me. Britney Spears' "Toxic."
Yeah, it makes me
And
think
I-
of strippers.
I love that song
I
because
don't know what it is.
apparently, have you
The
guys
film
heard
clip
of the
makes
band?
me horny.
Have you guys heard of a band called the Sugar Babes?
Yeah,
Oh,
back in the
maybe.
day.
Yeah, so back in the days when Toxic came out, prior to them going on stage, the girls of this band called the Sugar Babes got into a fight over whether Toxic was a good song or not, and refused to play the concert because
Wow.
of differences arising.
Cocaine
from
is a
that
hell of
song.
a drug. Yeah.
Think Toxic's alright. It isn't.
It is. So I reckon Britney's got a few gold stars in hell for just Discord and just
Britney.
Britney.
See, this is the thing now. All I can think about is all those.
Hot film clips she does.
Yeah, well,
Did you find Britney hot?
not really. No,
Yeah,
I'm not into that.
I heard she had a breast augmentation
Americana
before she was
sort
like
of-
18. And I'm like, showbiz parents, you've gone too far.
Yeah. I didn't do any internet search to find out if that was a real thing or not. I just assumed it was.
Oh, here's another segment that sort of works in for what we're talking about. Still a good rapper in the Hollywood crapper. That was one of yours, Rooney.
Really?
So-
Okay, still a good rapper in the Hollywood crapper. Well, Ice Cube is definitely still a good rapper. I think you guys having seen
Correct.
him, NWA's a decent
Good
film.
rapper
great.
In the Hollywood crap up. I'm just trying to think of who.
Kid and Play.
Kid play.
They're down in Werribee Sewage Farm. They're in the crapper.
well,
Don't worry about that.
Yeah, in the
Vanilla Ice, well and truly in the crapper.
He's
Dead.
done some strange things with his.
His
He's a
showbiz
renovator now.
Yeah.
left. No, so I heard a great thing that he was playing down Mornington Peninsula in some pub, and so I rang up a guy and said, "Is that true that you saw?" Sorry, I actually rang up to talk to him about one old school classic dude.
I have no idea. I'll need
I'm
more
talking,
information. Use your
80s,
words.
80s, yeah, 80s.
Is he a rapper? Is he
Curtis Blow.
Oh,
So
I thought I
this
was
guy
gonna say
played a
James Rain.
This guy played a Curtis Blow song, and he started to talk about him. He said he's never played Melbourne, as far as I know. And I was like, yes, he has. And I rang him up and said, man, I went and saw Curtis Blow, and so I was with D, and he was playing Chasers, and it was
Oh,
$15. And
What?
when it was $15 at the door, we couldn't pre-book tickets. And when we got there, and they said $15. I turned around to D and said, I bet this is a tribute show. $15 seems too cheap to see an
And was it?
international artist. It was the man himself, and he was insane. He was like, people at the back, you know,
This is it.
stop doing your rap.
Blow and I want you
People
to
in
know
the middle
that
get
these,
ready to wiggle. And he
Yeah.
rocked
That's
the crowd.
jam.
And
That's jam.
that these are the
The
breaks. Break them up, break them up, break them up, break down.
So I told that guy, on the radio the story. His name's Declan Fay, this dude, and he's a very nice guy. And he's got his own podcast.
Yeah, yeah.
The Sweetest Plum, which is much better than ours, folks. But don't go there.
Don't promote any other podcasts.
Don't promote. Anyway, so he said, man, that's so much better than the gig I went to last week with my missus. And he told me about going down the Mornington Peninsula and seeing Vanilla Ice.
Oh.
Yeah.
And I said, and so what did he do aside from Ice Ice Baby? And he's gone, he did that 3 times.
Oh, what?
You know, he's not got a big
You
repertoire.
did 3 times?
Yeah, opens with it, does it in the
What
middle
about
of the
Cruising
show.
in my 5.0? Did you
shit.
do that one?
He did that.
Rolling.
3
In my
times.
5.0.
And,
That was rolling. In my 5.0.
Have we told that-
And he said it was so pathetic. And I said, at this point, I'm prepared to overdose on Schadenfreude because I love that. I always hated Vanilla Ice, and I love to hear that he's some sad dude trying to relive his 15 minutes of fun.
Yeah, some friends of our brother.
We tell that story
I
over on
think
the
we may have told that
podcast.
in one of the podcasts where they're in
Yeah, I think we have.
Vegas.
Oh, they were doing a wakeboard competition somewhere in the States, backwaters in the States. And Vanilla Ice was playing, and there was a whole bunch of Australian dudes, Canadians, all wakeboarders, all heavy drinkers, all, lads.
Didn't give a fuck.
And they went, right, we're going to see Vanilla Ice down at the
And it
local.
ended up, they saw him, got on stage, and then
One of the girlfriends got on stage and was dancing around, one of the Aussie chicks, dancing around with Vanilla Ice, and then fucking dacked him on stage.
the fucking security guards.
You've got to love an Aussie
The
chick.
security guards jumped on her, so those dudes are going, fuck this shit. And
Jumped on the
them.
security
So
guard.
there was like 45 ripped men.
45 combatants on stage.
Yeah.
The best Street Fighter finale you could imagine.
Yeah, with Vanilla Ice.
Well, that's
It's like Double Dragon.
You guys
You've never
haven't
seen
told
on
that
Double
story.
Dragon?
I'd remember that.
Oh, really?
let's call this episode then Vanilla Ice gets dacked.
Vanilla's ice cubes.
It's terrible. We'll work on the name.
Episode 14, Vanilla Ice's.
Now, so
I've got
who's
nothing.
there's another few ones. So we've done the snooze review. Who's been using my toothbrush? We haven't done that one for a while.
No,
That's
it's what's the
it's when you're living with someone and it's
when
personal.
they get on your nerves. They do something in
Shared living.
It's
Okay,
like,
I suspected somebody using my toothbrush in shared living, and I dipped my toothbrush in chili powder, and then I found out who the fuck it was.
that was my dog.
That's brilliant. Well, we never have to play that game ever again because now we know how to do it.
Who was actually using the toothbrush?
I wonder who it was.
The chili brush. Do you know who it was? Or are you going to go and get your phone and show us a picture of
It was Gary.
Gary?
It's always
It
Gazza.
was Gary.
It's always Gary.
Gary, are you using my toothbrush?
Nah, mate.
No. Well, here's some chili.
Why is your gums
chili.
burning?
That's a pretty good game.
That's good.
Did
I
he
like
use
that.
the toothbrush after that, though? Or was it
I'm
just like
hoping
he
he-
forfeited the toothbrush?
I'm hoping he threw the toothbrush away.
He walked away just a minute ago. He's gone to get a drink, I think.
I wonder if you floss with reckon the other pod. What are we up to there, Tim? Floss with arsenic. Arsenic laced. He died from arsenic laced
Very floss.
floss.
Crazy times.
That is crazy times. All right, Tim.
So,
What's going on?
what's going on?
You gigging?
Yes, I am gigging.
Where are you
Where
gigging?
am I gigging? I did. Oh God, I'm doing I did the Wu-Tang tribute show.
Yeah.
56 bricks. That was alright, but I played as much Wu-Tang as I could, and in the end, it was like 3 or 4 tracks.
How many?
Well, it was
What?
more than that. I did mixes and stuff, but actual Wu-Tang tracks.
Did they not want Wu Tang?
Well, you play it, and then if you like, unless you're there as a hardcore, there's a lot of walk-ins.
But it's advertised as a Wu Tang show, yeah.
As a Wu-Tang tribute show. So I was
So-
pretty prepared for it, and then didn't end up playing a lot.
Wouldn't
But
that-
Got Your Money.
Wouldn't it just be the whole night Wu Tang songs?
It would have been. I was ready for that.
I thought that's how they would run a tribute show.
Mm.
So, what was the majority of music that you played?
I ended up playing a bunch of sort of hip hop party stuff, party hip hop sort of tracks and whatnot.
I'm
But
frowning. You can't
whenever
hear my frown.
I did a Wu-Tang tribute show, and
Which
I
sort
only
of-
had the opportunity to play about 4 Wu-Tang
Was
songs.
this the with the son of Old Dirty Bastard or
Young
different
dirty
Wu-Tang
bastard.
show?
No, that's no, this is different. Yeah, that was when I
Wu-Tang
was on
tribute
tour with
show.
his little brother.
So this is a tribute show before then.
No, this is the other week.
We're
Where
up
were
to
you? Where
Tim's
were
gigs.
In Chapel Street. Yeah,
Chapel.
Chapel.
And is Chapel Street still the
I find that
magnet of hair grease and
it is in
My
the
look
middle,
at my
it is
car.
in the middle of Chapel Street. On the edges, like Windsor.
it's gotten cool.
I think
It's not too bad. It's not
There's
too
think
decent
they're
bars
struggling,
to go
though.
to.
decent bar.
Chapel Street's struggling. So is
Is
Burke
it?
Road. Yeah, because the rent's too high and people don't want to go there because it's too busy. And I'm pretty
busy.
sure
There's
they're
nowhere to
struggling. Yeah,
There's nowhere
nowhere
to
to park. It's a pain in the ass.
Well, now I'm in my usual spot.
Where
Does
you going? The
revolting
Grand?
still exist?
Yeah, I'll play that.
We
all
talked
the
about
time.
the revolver at
Revolver?
in episode. I want to
Talk
say
about the dead body behind the curtain.
no.
That very recently they they opened up the curtains and there's a dude just
Dead.
like OD'd behind one of the curtains behind the couch.
Allegedly.
No, actually,
Okay.
yep, that actually happened.
Was it in the news?
Wow.
And,
Did you tell Matt? Because
hey, they found a dead dude in a revolver.
Hugh Jazz did always he called it revolting for me, and when he left the country, he had to do one last visit, and so this was my last enduring memory of revolting. I went with Sean McGuinness and Hugh Jazz, and they I spent ages waiting for beer. I got 3 Melbournes. I gave one to Matt and one to Sean. I had one. It was just nectar of the gods. I'd waited so long. It was really nice beer. Had a big swig of it, put it down, went and had a boogie. Came back and sitting in front. So my beer
And he
was
got hot Cosby'd.
my beer was on a table, and this girl was sitting in front of my beer, and I didn't think anything of this, but she was touching herself, and I was like, "Wow,
Awesome.
you're letting it all hang out." And then I've gone and picked up my beer,
That's great.
and the beer tasted foul.
Ah.
Somebody had put something in it, thinking it was her beer,
You did get hot Cosby'd.
and I just put it down because it really tasted foul, and I was like, I need to go tell the bouncer. And I was like, oh shit, I'm too off my head. I'll probably end up getting beaten up and kicked out. Like, somebody tried to
There's this girl that I've been drinking with.
You know what I mean? Just if the words came out in the wrong order.
Yeah.
And so I went to Matt. I said, man, somebody's fucking put some shit in my drink. He's going, yeah, you say that every week, Oscar.
You said that every week.
And it's me
Yeah.
every week putting
Every
shit in your
time
drink.
you try to kiss me, you say the same thing.
I've been trying to. Oh God, I'm not even.
Trying
Gonna,
to kiss me on my mouth.
I'm not even going to go down that line of Cosby jokes and shit because it's.
Oh, that's why it's Cosby, because of the current court
Hot
case.
Cosby, yeah.
Yeah,
Cosby.
You get drugs and then
It
you
used to
wake
be a
up
Mickey
and you go,
Finn,
"Sorry."
now it's Hot Cosby.
That's Hot Cosby. That's South
Is
Park
it Mickey
all over
Finn
that.
like the kind of gag or reference from that school play that nobody got?
That's right. That's exactly right.
What is it?
It's a Mickey Finn,
Mickey
and
Finn
everyone's
is
just
somebody's
going.
messed with your drink.
Oh,
He's
you
slip
mean
there a
Mickey
Mickey.
Finn.
You slip me a Mickey.
Send me a Mickey
Over there.
Finn. Mickey Finn.
So
Who is
I've
Mickey
s-
Finn? Do we
He
know?
must have been a date raper from hell to get that well known
Oh.
with his name connected with the deed of spiking a
I
drink.
hope I get Mickey Finned on Saturday night because
So
I'm.
do I. I've got
going to
a
a
party,
third,
got
yeah.
a house party styles on Saturday night, which is pretty good. Got the kids coming,
What,
as in Jazzbot,
Ah,
Cassie and Vanessa are coming along to one of my gigs.
Is
for
this
once.
is this the one that we were perusing the playlist of what you can and can't play?
No, that was
Different
something
gig?
else.
That was
That's a corporate-
intense.
That's a corporate gig.
I kind of like that though. It's you know.
Oh, it helps. Look, for corporate gigs, it really helps.
do not play.
I've got what else have I got? I've got my regular spot at the Grand. I'm there.
What's that like these days?
It's not too bad. It's the same as.
Same as.
I do my thing. I get up there. I do my thing.
Good food.
I vary it week to week. Where the other DJs play the same stuff, I make sure I play something different.
I walk behind the alley of the Grand many a time and hear the same song and go, Tim's not playing.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Tim is playing.
No.
You say to throw up.
It's a mixtape.
No, once or twice I've heard
But it looks
somebody
like-
I've heard somebody scratching and thought that could be Tim or Chris, and yeah, it's neither.
It has not been.
How is little Chris? Has anyone seen
It's
him?
good.
in
He's
the
just
last...
had another kid.
Jeez.
What is it?
Fantastic.
These potent
Congratulations.
Yeah, everybody's having
Potent
kids.
mother-
Oh, what's that
Motherfucker.
sound? What's that sound?
Is that the music coming out?
That is the music coming out.
Ah, yeah, we've reached our mark.
Reached our mark.
All of a sudden.
Yeah, right. It's episode 14. What do we call that?
14.
What do we sign off?
Yeah, let's go.
Episode 14, we all hate this.
Escape pod.
Goodbye from Room.
That's right.
The
Jez Bot.
escape pod.
What if there are droids in the escape pod? The sensors wouldn't pick them up.
Escape poses is really nice.
Well, boys, it's a very lovely ship. I think you should go down. Goodbye.